Welcome everybody to Find You Fridays. It's me, Lorene. How are we all doing today? Good, I hope. All right, let's get that little one done. And here I am. I'm focused. Hello, Melinda. Hello. How was your day? Hi, Debbie. Oh, wow, you're at the Spirit Festival. Awesome. Super cool. Feeling the good vibes all the way over here. How long does the Spirit Festival go for, Debbie? So that's pretty cool. It's a funny thing, I haven't really felt hugely, hi Edwina, haven't felt hugely like the nudge to go towards any like psychic stuff, like festival type shows or anything this year. You guys are fulfilling it for me. I love that. Cool. So 3 days. Awesome. That's fantastic. I bet you the vibe is really wicked. I hope the weather's held out for you over there. I know New Zealand can be a bit dodgy sometimes. So, yes. Hi, Tony. Hello. Oh, no, it's not the final one, Debbie. Oh, that's a bit sad. Hopefully that somebody else will pick it up and run with it next year. There'll be somebody out there going, no, we can't let this end. Because it is lovely to have that. Hi, Amanda. Hello. So lovely to have you with us. This is beautiful. It's so neat seeing you all coming in. It's very, very cool. Makes me feel very special. It's like hello, Hawkeye Rick. Hello. And thank you for the rose. We love the roses. Because Lord knows we can't get them delivered here. So I was just having a wee peruse through my new and full moon magic diary. And I showed you guys this when I got it last year. So it's the one for 2025. And I use it to track, where I am in the moon cycles and stuff like that. And given that we've got lots of astrological stuff happening, particularly for us over this next couple of days. We've got, if I've got everything correct, we've got Venus is coming out of retrograde. She's gone back into the underworld and doing her thing down there. We are currently still in Mercury retrograde at the moment. We've got Neptune coming in, which is like the first time in 164 years or something like that. So there's a lot of different energies floating up and around, and I think there's something to do with Pluto maybe in there too. I can't remember. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff. And Tony, it depends on which platform that they're watching in. So because I stream to my personal page and my business page and to YouTube, and none of you guys can see each other's, like if the YouTube people can't see the Facebook page people can't see it on the personal page. So if you're finding, I'm not sure where everybody's tuning in to, but yeah, it could be that on the Facebook side because you're on Facebook. It could be that it's on one or the other, and that's why you're not seeing people's comments. Anyway, so what I thought I would bring forward today is a little bit of information that this book has, given that we're now in the sign of Aries and we moved into Aries last week. So we are in a new moon tonight. So it's lovely and dark out there once the sun goes down. Lovely for stargazing if there's no clouds, but there's clouds here tonight, so there ain't no stargazing for me. That was the other thing. We've got another eclipse. That was the other thing. So yeah, there's an eclipse happening tomorrow, a lunar eclipse, I think it is. So you won't see it because it's a new moon. But just know that energy's up there too. So given we are in a new moon, This time is a fabulous time for releasing. This is for the, the sign of Aries. This is a time for releasing something that is stopping Aries from moving forward. New and exciting projects may be started. So that's what new moons are all about for the Aries. If you are like me and you've sort of always been a little bit curious about moon rituals and things like that, like you sort of, there's that little, I guess, witchy curious part of you or pagan curious. So in this lovely book, there's actually a simple new moon ritual and a simple full moon ritual. I haven't told you guys about either of them yet, so I thought I might bring that for the new moon, given that that's what we've got tonight. And I'm doing this right at the start of the show so that you can come back. Thank you, Melinda. So you can come back to this little part. It's about 6.5 minutes in. And you can have another listen to this if you wish. And you can do this ritual for yourself. So you can pause, you can gather your things, you can do all this stuff, okay? So the new moon is when the moon and the sun move together through the sky. The moon rises with the sun, which is why it's not visible at night during this time. Spiritually speaking, the new moon is all about harnessing the energy for new beginnings and planting new seeds to manifest your dreams. The new moon is when the male energy of the sun, the yang, is perfectly aligned with the female energy of the moon, which is the yin. On the exact day of the true new moon, the moon is in complete darkness, ready to make a fresh start. A simple new moon ritual just requires a candle, paper, and pen, or pencil if you prefer. The new moon ritual can consist of 2 parts. The first is all about letting go, and the second is about thinking ahead. So first, ground and center yourself. You can do that with the expanding out tools if you like. Think about the things that no longer serve you and write down all the things that no longer help you. Then use the candle flame to burn the list. So obviously you need something to light the candle with. And just make sure you're doing this safely. Being over here in Australia, we certainly have still got fire bans and things like that. So just make sure you're doing this safely. So burning the list allows space to bring in new intentions. Focus and ask yourself what you wish to manifest and actualize. Now write down your new intentions or wishes you wish to manifest or actualize during this new moon. Declare your intentions by reading them out loud. Meditate, focus on your breathing, and visualize your wishes coming to fruition. And finally, put your wishes in a safe place until the next full moon. So, yay, there we go. So if you want to do a simple ritual for yourself tonight after the show or whenever, that's a really good thing to do. There's a lot of stuff here. There's a whole piece on creating an altar, talking about the different crystals, altar cloth, bowls, candles and what they mean, like the different colors. And the interesting thing is I've actually got my tiger's eye on tonight. I was drawn to using the tiger's eye, which is about the release of negative energy, abundance, and protection. So there we go. Very perfectly, intuitively chosen for a new moon session. So it's all very interesting stuff. And funnily enough, I actually burnt a white candle today. So which is establishing connection with moon energy. I don't burn a lot of candles, but there we go. So, how does it get any better than that? Some interesting stuff for you guys. Let us have a look at our weekly reading. See who wishes to come and play. Just through Amazon, I think. It was a good book. Very good. I'm glad I got it. And oh yes, and the other thing for us South Australians, I'm pretty sure our daylight savings finishes this weekend. Thank goodness for that. Because oh my goodness, I'm so done. So it'll be Friday 4th, I think it'll be next week. Yep. Yeah, it is, and it's the one that I've done my my cards that I did for one card each month for the year while I was out camping at Christmas time. I put that all in here too, and I'm not huge on diary stuff. I try, and I get a few bits in, and then I stop. Lots of reasons behind that. Oh, thank you, Rick. Lots of mossy candles going. Oh no, another week. Oh, why? Why? Amanda, that sucks. Why is it another week of daylight savings? It's dumb. We don't need it. Hi, Tamara. All right, let us get into it. Let's have a look at this weekly reading for the collective from tomorrow being the 29th of March through to the 4th of April. May, and then we're going to get into May and then June. And too many days. Too many. See how we can work with these energies and these little eclipses and retrogrades and all sorts of things like that. Who said it was going to be the 6th? Oh, sucks. I did wonder why I hadn't been hearing anything about it. I just assumed it would be the end of March and that would be it. I know that they have extended it for some stupid reason. And it's like, it's so daft. Yeah, exactly, Tony. And normally we all switch over roughly around the same time and it's a lot easier. But no. Hi, Julie. Lovely to see you, my dear. We haven't seen you in a little bit. Okay, let us have a look. Okie dokie. Lots of energy moving already. More like daylight robbery. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Rick. I don't like daylight savings. It's not necessary. And it's even harder at the moment because it's now really dark when I go to work and I'm not liking it. But anyway. We've got to explore the hidden you, reveal yourself. So this is the deck, the secret language of your soul cards. So this is for the collective. Just take what resonates, put down what doesn't. It's all good. So given where we're at, the lovely Aries season, we've got all these retrogrades and eclipses and blah, 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 blah happening, right? It doesn't surprise me that this card has come up. And so I'll read it again. Explore the hidden you, reveal yourself. Because right now, all of those energies, all the astrological shifts and stuff is all supporting you as well as the new moon, is supporting you to let go of the shit that no longer serves you, to reveal the true you. So given where everything's at the moment, this card coming up as the very first card does not surprise me at all. We've got some beautiful forward moving energy. We've got a lot of that energy of like just not taking crap from people. And mostly from yourself. It's like there's a real beautiful demand going out and through the collective at the minute of just being, I'm honoring me, I'm honoring you by honoring me. And if that energy does not match, then people are being way more inclined to go, yeah, no, that's okay. I'm not choosing that anymore. And this is a good thing because some people require to wake up and just kind of do that decluttering, if you like. The next card that we've got is along a very similar vein. It is align with your ideal rhythms, be one with your inner self. So very much the same sort of messaging. This time is about learning and remembering what are your ideal rhythms? What are the spaces and places and people, and what are your dreams and wishes? Not what everybody else's dreams and wishes are in your household. What are your dreams and wishes? How do you wish to be treated? How do you wish to treat others? How do you wish to have your finances? How do you see your life going? All these sorts of things are all up for review at the moment, and there's been a lot of decluttering of yucky, sticky, old energies, old points of views and belief systems that have kept you stuck. And you will find that, here we go. You will find that you are very much in a space of realigning yourself, okay? Along with all of that energy of moving forward, of decluttering and all of that, you're going to be creating a lot of space in yourself, in your mind, in your heart, maybe physically around you, however it works. And this can create a place of uncomfortability because it's like people get very attached to their belief systems. They get very attached to their possessions. They get very attached to their emotional attachment to things. They get attached to people. Even if that relationship is toxic, there's still a symbiotic relationship going on there. And that can be very difficult to let go. And once it's let go, it's like, so this next card has come up, which says, relax into the unknown, initiate with trust. So just trust that you are doing this for your highest and best. Trust that in letting the things go, letting the people go, letting the points of views or belief systems go, or just relaxing into incorporating other belief systems or points of views, not being so rigid, you'll find that things will be a lot easier. So this is just a nice little reminder for the collective to just take a breath and be okay with being uncomfortable for a little bit. It'll get easier. It'll feel better. But this is still going to be a little bit of a rough moment. And towards the end of the week, we've got assimilate your experiences, incorporate and invigorate. All right, so this is a beautiful, beautiful reminder for everybody that, again, it is going to get easier. There's a lot of forward movement energy. You're going to feel like you've had a big, huge bloody kick up the butt. I can tell you that for a fact. This week is going to feel like suddenly you've got a fire in your belly or ants in your pants to get moving. So if you've felt a little bit sluggish over the last couple of weeks, which is not surprising, now is going to be like you're going to start doing those projects that you've been putting off for a while. You're going to start sorting through stuff that you haven't had for a while, like that you haven't been tackling for a while. You might organize some things. You might, and I know this energy's already been flowing through my system, so it's okay. So, yeah, and you'll be able to just assimilate the experiences of bringing together that old stuff that you've been through and kind of gone, oh, wow. And by assimilate, I'm also seeing that as being like having a lot of gratitude for the journey that you've had so far. So that's what I'm seeing with that particular card. And as you have gratitude for it, for the journey, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the awesome, as we always say here on Find You Fridays, it is assimilated. And it's no longer something there to cause trauma or pain. So, yeah. And Melinda says that she's still working her way through all of her stuff. It's very cathartic, and I'm loving the space I'm creating now. Wonderful. That's so cool, Melinda. So happy for you. Hi, Fiona. And we've got Hope. Hope is our yummy card. Yummy. So just don't give up hope. Don't give up hope. It might get a little bit rough, might get a little bit crunchy this week, but don't give up hope. Everything is going to work out just fine. All right. So yes, that's a cool reading. Cool reading for the collective coming forward. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good one. I have looked ahead in my schedule for next week and my work schedule. It appears that I'm doing a bit of decluttering and dehoarding and stuff this week. So it's so funny because it's like that's exactly what we just saw, right? So while I'm not necessarily requiring to do it on a physical space for myself, I'm helping other people do it. So I'm still bringing that energy through my world. How does that feel? Pretty cool. Oh, dear. Alrighty. So my phone has been going bonkers, which is really cool, and I'm so grateful for it. So first cab off the rank is Edwina. If you could please pop your question in the chat, please. Oops. Apparently my threes are around the wrong way. Okay. Rick says, when the ride gets rough, better hold on tight. Someday just might be tonight. That's true. That's true. What else have you guys been yabbering about? Oh, Tony said that her decluttering is done. Thanks to the big, massive help of friends. Wonderful. Congratulations, Tony. So happy for you. Tamara says, no daylight savings in Queensland. It's glorious. Well, mostly. The sun is up at 4:30 a.m. during the summer. It can be a bit weird. Yeah, but the thing is, like, you just kind of wake up with the sun. It's okay. Like, I don't mind that. And the times that I've actually been up there, sort of in the summertime, it hasn't bothered me. It's like you can just shut the curtains. It's not bad. Like, but yeah, at 7:30 in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning at the moment, it's still dark here. And I'm just like, it's become become dark. And I'm just like, I don't know that jumping out of daylight savings is going to help that, but I think it does. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've forgotten. And Amanda, no, you're absolutely correct. I Googled it, and daylight savings in Adelaide is ending on the 6th. So stupid. Cool. Of course. Of course, it's a John Bon Jovi song. I was thinking, I think I recognize that. That sounds like lyrics, but I didn't want to. Anyway, Edwina, yay, your question is there. Thank you. Tony says that she's making both bracelets now. Fantastic, because you got the space to do it. See, easy. Melinda, you inspired me to decluttering too, says Julie. Thank you. See, we inspire each other to do this sort of stuff. It's wonderful. And Tamara says, yeah, I definitely prefer it to waking up in the dark. Yeah. I don't mind waking up in the dark. It's going to work in the dark. I don't like that. That's not fun for me. Interesting. Yeah. Sort of felt drawn to the browns today. Like that really just sinking into self today. Belinda said, that's awesome, Julie. I've done a fair bit, but still more to go, and I am being very ruthless with a lot of old stuff. Needs to go. Yes. Oh, did it not select? Silly thing. There we go. All right, Edwina. Has anybody read or listened to some interesting books lately? I'm curious. I love my Audible. I was having coffee with a friend today, and she's let go of the Audible because she prefers real books instead. And she couldn't have both. And I was like, oh, that's so sad. I'm still like, I love being able to drive and listen to my Audible books and stuff like that. Fantastic. Keeps me chill on the roads. Lots of energy moving. Love it. Okay. Okie dokie, my dear. Oh, I haven't done the Hunger Games. I'll come back to that. So, Edwina, we've got black to start off with, which is finding richness from the dark night. And as I've taken a quick glance over your reading today, what I'm seeing is a lot of, I get the sense that you're going through a bit of deep healing at the moment, a big shift within yourself. And for some people, it can look like a dark night of the soul type movement. It can be a big spiritual awakening. It can be, I was listening to a podcast today, Diary of a CEO, and it was, even though they didn't talk about dark night of the soul from a metaphysical point of view, when women get into perimenopause, that can actually be very similar. I was listening to the symptoms that they were talking about, and I was like, that sounds a lot like what women go through when we're in the dark night of the soul moment too. And some of my friends who are in perimenopause now, in reflection, I can see that they actually have gone through this big spiritual, emotional, physical shift around the same time as their hormones are shifting around as well. So I get the sense that this is something that might be relevant to you. And Tamara, it's freaking amazing. I love that show. I can honestly say that what I'm sensing with this is that you are currently going through that big fat shift in yourself, in the way you're thinking, the way you're relating to people, the way you're relating to yourself. You're sort of going through a massive, huge life review at the moment. And at the same time, I can still sense that you're trying to just keep it on the down low. And it's like, that's not really working for you particularly well. So it's ready to burst open, and it's gonna, I think you're gonna ruffle some feathers when it does, as they usually do. So it might be a good idea to just sort of ease into it a little bit more. Okay. You've got lemon, which is to access innovative thinking. So this is very much talking about looking at things from a different point of view and being aware that that's going to be something that's happening with you right now, and why things are feeling just so odd. And like all of your old ways of thinking, of coping, of doing stuff, of problem solving and all that sort of stuff is just not sitting well with you now. It's like those old, dare I say it, people pleaser type tactics that you've used in the past are just not working. And they're not sitting well with you. And you're just like, I'm also sensing a really high cortisol in your system right now. A lot of very high breath in your body, a lot of tension in your shoulders, like that down over that part, like mid shoulder blade. It just went twang in as I was tuning in. And potentially some slight headaches as well. So just be aware of what your body's trying to show you. It's like it's actually really trying to show you that there's some areas to relax in, and that you have to start doing things differently. Okay. The next card you've got is just a gentle reminder from your team of apricot, which is to rejoice and laugh. Okay. It's that good old adage of if you can't laugh, you're going to cry. So perhaps in some of those moments where you're just taking things a little too seriously, maybe it's time to find some joyousness, find some positive, find those little nuggets of happiness and things to be grateful for, even though you're going through this stuff. And it can be something as super simple as a sunset. It can be as simple as looking at a beautiful flower. It can be as simple as, just lightly touching your own arm in the shower and going, I can feel that. And just playing with the five senses, just little bits here and there. So good night, Fiona. I'll read your message properly, but it sounds, oh goodness, sending you lots of loves, darling. I hope you feel better soon. Okay. All right. So yeah, this one here is very much about just find those little moments of brightness, because they will continue to give you the the oomph to keep going forward. Okay, because those little moments will grow. They might be sort of a little bit sporadic at this point in time, but they will grow. Okay. This next card is exactly that. Silver, which is about being persistent. So keep going. You've already done so much work already. I know. And you're tired. I know. And it feels sometimes like, fuck, how the hell do I keep going? But you will. And this card is just reminding you that it's okay to be persistent. It's okay to just take little baby steps sometimes. And then, other times it's going to be a big, huge leap. But it's okay. Just keep being persistent, because you are going through a big shift right now, and it's okay to do that. And it's okay to feel overwhelmed sometimes, and it's okay to reach out and help, reach out to your community and find, even if it's just one friend that you can go to and laugh and cry and process stuff through, and with those thoughts that go through our heads and all that sort of stuff. Have that one friend that you can reach out to. I love the fact that I have my two soul sisters. One's in New Zealand and one's in Canada. And we just leave voice messages for each other, even if it's at stupid times of night, that sort of thing, because we put our phones on do not disturb in the evening time. So it means that we have the freedom to be able to just go, oh my God, and talk something through. And then the other person will catch it when they're able. It has been such a godsend over these last few years of me being, especially in my perimenopause time. All right. The next card that we've got for you, my dear, is Emerald, which is calm your mind, body, and soul. So again, like I said, your cortisols are too high right now. And that's going to start affecting the rest of your immune system. That's going to start affecting and with your immune system, you might end up with other ailments if your immune system stays affected for too long. And you can end up being a little bit more susceptible to autoimmune conditions and stuff like that. So just be very aware of your cortisol levels and do as many things as you can to bring in some peace and calm and recentering moments for yourself. Okay, your team is asking you to take a lot of really good care of you right now, and this is why they have basically kind of ended with this particular card. It's like, please, be calm, be still. It's okay. We've got you. And your team is surrounding you really deeply. Okay. So keep tapping into your ancestors, keep tapping into your that feminine ancestral energy. It's going to help you a lot as you move through this next few stages. And your yummy card is generosity. But I'm not getting that this is a generosity outward. It's a generosity inward. So please be more kind to yourself. Be more kind to your thoughts about yourself, and more kind and generous with your unconditional love to you. And as you move through this, you're going to get to a point where you fall absolutely deeply in love with yourself. But right now, you're going through the rough patch, and it's okay. I see you, and my heart goes to you. It will get better. It will get better. And right now, you're just shedding off a lot of those old layers, just like our lovely beings in the reptile world does when they outgrow those skins. They let them go. And that's what you're doing right now. But yours isn't just a year's worth or 6 months worth. Yours is lifetimes worth of shedding that you're doing right now. And that's fucking uncomfortable. So Be kind, be gentle, be soft with yourself, okay? I hope that helps, Edwina. Thank you so much for your very, very kind donation. And please reach out to that trusted friend of yours and see if you can set up some nice, yummy, girly dates or something like that if they live locally to you. And even if you have to travel just a teeny tiny bit, I know you have responsibilities and things. But yeah, see if you can do that too. I think that would be really, really yummy for you. And it will mean a lot to your children as well. Because if you're more calm and centered and steady within yourself, you'll find being a mum is a hell of a lot easier too. Thank you, my dear. I hope everything goes okay. Take it easy out there and keep pulling in on all your tools. Find the things that make you feel yummy. Find the things that make you feel good and keep bringing those in. But don't shy away from the dark stuff. Start writing shit out and you'll get there. You'll get there. All right. Big loves. All right, let me catch up on the chat. Oh, hello, Brian. I didn't see you in there. Okay, caught up to the Hunger Games. Okay. Samara says, I can't listen to books without reading along with it. My mind wanders and I miss half of it. I use that particular technique when I'm doing specifically book clubs. And for that reason, I don't necessarily miss half of it, but I find I absorb way more of it if I am, and if it's required. You know, if I'm listening to a book just as a fluff book, just for entertainment purposes, then it doesn't matter if I don't listen, if I don't hear everything. But certainly if it's something more important and it's meant to be absorbed deeply, then I will do that same thing too tomorrow. I have the books that I have in my collection are that I've also got on Audible are the ones that it's like really hit very deeply, and it's like, oh, I've got to have this book, you know. Hawkeye says started on Toth, the Emerald tablet, but forgotten to get back to it. Oh, what's that about? Oh yes, Melinda Cialana Estrella books. I don't know those. Rainbow Tablets by Cialano Estrella. Amazing books and so many codes and downloads as I read them. Wow, they sound really interesting. Very cool. Brian is somebody who likes to actually have something in his hands when he's reading, as in proper book. Yep, Diary of a CEO. I'll make some, highly recommend, this is the Hunger Games. Highly recommend. There is so much more relevant information in them, will make some things in the movie make so much more sense. Without doubt. That's the same as Lord of the Rings. So, you know, there's the movie release version of Lord of the Rings, and there's the director's cut of Lord of the Rings, and then, of course, there's the books. The director's cut, I think each of them is about 4 or 5 hours long, but it's well worth it because there's so much more that makes sense because of the extended amount of time. So I think that was a very smart way to do it, because people aren't going to sit in this movie theater for that long, but they would sit at home and watch it. So I think that was a very smart idea that Peter Jackson had around that one. I think, yeah, you can get Hunger Games on Audible. Oh, cool. And yeah, they're on Spotify too. I keep forgetting that there's like the Audible side of things on Spotify. I pay for both, but I forget. Oh dear. Oh, Edwina, I'm so grateful for you too, sweetheart. I'm grateful. Yeah, this time can be a bit rough. The Diary of a CEO video that I was talking about is I can grab it from Facebook. I will. So the picture on it says belly fat grows during menopause. And it is okay. Let me see if I can grab that whole thing. Here we go. Let me jump that into there. Hopefully I grabbed all of it. Yeah, ended on a Q. Ended on a Q. Awesome. So yeah. So it is a fascinating conversation, and not just about women's health. It is about all sorts of things. This lady has an incredible amount of knowledge, and she comes from both a traditional medical scientific point of view in training, but also with a holistic. She's moved into the more holistic side of things too, and she calls it natural health. And I'm like, natural healthcare, and I'm like, yes, exactly, it's natural healthcare. Oh dear. Melinda, can you pop your question in the chat, please? Well, that would be amazing. And yeah, it does take a couple of hours. That particular episode is 2 hours long, but well worth the listen. Really well worth the listen. It even goes into talking about stuff like PTSD, talking about child trauma and how that can affect your hormone levels. And that's not just relevant to females, that's relevant to males too. And it was very interesting because some of my friends that I've sent that to individually already, that particular episode, and with the chart that had the questions, because I was a 6 out of 10 of those questions, and other friends of mine were 8, 9. And I'm just like, wow. And then sort of doing a quick review of like what their life has been like as an adult, and I can go, yeah, I can see how that all works. Thank you, Melinda. So yeah, fascinating conversation. Fascinating indeed. Highly recommend. Yeah, Tony, I think you would find it really interesting too. So yeah, Rick, it is interesting, isn't it? It's on YouTube, darling. I did put the link up in the chat, but you might not be able to see it depending on where you are. Sometimes it doesn't want to. Here you go. So Rick, yes, you can feel free to share your thoughts of what that was like. You're welcome, Tony. All right. Excuse me, Melinda. You are doing some very, very deep and interesting clearing work at the moment. And the fascinating thing is that the first card that came up is past life issue. And this card says, this situation has a basis in one of your past lifetimes. Ask your angels to help you remember, release, learn, and heal from your past experiences. So obviously there's that element of looking at past life stuff as being a previous lifetime. But also, this can also be a past life within this life. So when I look at my life, I'm on like the fourth version of me. And I feel like this for you is partly that. It's like the reason, like, as you're moving through and letting stuff go and decluttering and doing all of that, it's gonna, like you said, it's very cathartic. There's also some underlying energies that are sitting in there that are related to older times in your life when you were someone else. And it's not to say that you're schizophrenic, because it's nothing to do with that. It's your spiritual or conscious evolution. And the reasons why we hang on to things from a long time ago is obviously was valid back then, but it's no longer valid now. And I see this a lot with my clients, and I'm so proud of you for, moving through a lot of that energy. But the basis of the collecting will be sitting in a past life issue. And that's something that they're asking you to look at so that you can release it, make peace with it. And it's like this rest of this process will be much easier for you. Okay. The next one is listen to your intuitive feelings, which is your body is receiving accurate messages from the divine. So with you, my dear, I'm actually getting a lot of jaw stuff up into your ear, up into, what would that be, right ear? Sort of up in and around here, this part here. And it's almost down to like my first molars. So it's sitting down into the jaw. And with Ina, I know she'd have some very great wisdom around that. Might be something you can have a look at for yourself. But what I'm intuitively getting, given that your team is saying to listen to your intuition, is like there's a lot of tension and stuff from where you've had to grit your teeth, grind your teeth, hold your tongue, that sort of thing. And this is all starting to slowly come out. And it's a little bit like, when you get a remedial massage and they get in there and they really work the muscles and the tendons and the sinews around, and it's a bit painful. That's what this feels like. It feels like you're just kind of releasing a lot of that old energies that are stored in this area from your masculine and like coming in from the male side of your family. And it's like it's starting to come out. It's starting to move away from you now, which is beautiful. So, yeah. Listen to your intuitive feelings, and particularly about your body and what it's telling you right now. Ironically, we've got clear yourself right in the middle. Ask the angels to release any toxic energies that you may have absorbed. So everything that we have, from cards to clothes to our possessions, whatever that might be, books, blankets, it doesn't matter. All of those have absorbed energies, right? And including us. We have absorbed a lot of energies over the years from the people we've interacted with our family, with our friends, with partners, and all of that sort of stuff. Because you're doing this beautiful cathartic clearing on your home, your team is also saying, just make sure that you're clearing yourself at the same time. End of the day, make sure you're doing a cleansing and clearing, doing that, undoing the relationship between you and them, you and the stuff that you're letting go of. Because the problem is that if you keep that line there between you and the stuff that you've let go of, you will unintentionally bring that or something similar to that back. And it's kind of like a cord cutting of sorts, sort of, but it's more of just a clearing the energy. You know how to do that. So please do that. And I would say do it on a daily at the moment while you're doing all of this lovely clearing for yourself. These next two cards are a little bit curious and a little bit interesting. The first one is fairies. And it says you have a strong bond with the fairies and your life purpose involves helping Mother Nature. And I get the sense that this is the card that is basically just giving you the little nudge to say, once you've done your work, you'll get to play. And you'll get to play with the fairies again because you'll have the mental and emotional and physical space to do so. And you're going to have a great time. And you're going to feel like you actually wish to be out in nature. And you're going to feel like you wish to be playing with the fairies again because they're aware that you haven't really felt like doing that for a little while. And that's totally okay. But they do miss you. They are missing you a lot. So they're there waiting for you. But there we go. Now this last one. This is an interesting one because this could be both amazing, but also I get that this is old stuff. My intuition says this is old. But let me just double check something. Okay. So, twin flame. The answer to your question involves a spiritually based romantic relationship. So what I'm actually getting with this, like I said, as soon as I flipped it over, really? And is this the past or is this the future? And it was like, it's both. And I went, okay. So what I'm getting with that one is that there's some emotional stuff that is asking to be cleared from your previous twin flame interaction. And that twin flame of yours is not necessarily guiding you from the other side, which can be the case. Sometimes they, if they've passed away and that sort of thing. But what I'm getting is that there's a lot of clearing of trauma that is associated with this twin flame. And that's part of what is coming up. And as I'm talking about this, my heart is hurting. Like it's got that fiery, almost like heartburny type feeling to it. Which tells me, yes, I'm on the right track. So yay. Not that I wish to feel heartburn, but anyway. So as you're releasing the stuff, if there's been any questions about holding on to things that are related to this one, let them go. And in doing so, acknowledge the contribution that has been in your life. Acknowledge the contribution and the gift of their time with you, and also acknowledge the fact that you now are well and truly past that, and it's okay to let it go, like that confidence to just move through that uncomfortable and just let it go. So this is an interesting one to pop up, because I was like, and the reason why they said it's the future too is because in releasing this stuff from this past interaction, it's going to free you up to be able to welcome in your most compatible partner in the future. So releasing this energy, this old energy, which is again why they have put it at the front and at the end, because they love to bookmark things, your team. So past life, within this life, twin flame, they're making friends with each other. Could have been a very happy little threesome. Joyous is your yummy card. So throughout all of this, please retain your level of joy, and this whole process is going to continue to bring you that incredible amount of joy in your life. So all those spots and places and spaces where you have not felt joy, or you're going to be feeling that too, and just bring that through into your heart. Bring the feeling of, gosh, this feels so good to be letting this stuff go. And when those moments pop up where it's like, oh, this is really tough, bring the joyous moments back through, because your team is loving what you're doing. They're smiling so big for you. That was a good reading. Thank you so much, Melinda, for your very kind donation. I'm so grateful for you being here on Find You Fridays. You help to keep the show running, literally. So yes, your team, and there's some very valuable information in there, especially about the past life stuff. I did get a sense that there was a past life that was spent in like deep poverty. That's what's coming through in the end there, and that's part of what has given the grounding, if you like, for collecting of things. I got that you were male, that it was, I'm seeing like, you know how like there's the I don't know what they're called, smock robe type things, like think Roman, think Middle Eastern type thing. But yeah, I get male, and you were just so poor. You had like nothing to your name, and at that time you just need, you made that promise to yourself that you would never be in that position again of never having anything in your world. And of course, in this lifetime, it's swung to be the opposite of that, which is I'll have everything and multiples of things, and I'm never going to throw anything out. And so maybe tap into that particular lifetime, make some peace with it, and talk to it as you would, your inner child, and bring some peace to that particular part of you as well. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alrighty. Now we have a very special because beautiful Ricky has gone and put a donation in for somebody else to have a reading. So how cool is that? So let me see. I'm going to write down a number. And those of you who are here and haven't had a reading and haven't paid for one yet, so Christine and Tony, sorry. I would love for you to pick a number between 1 and 20. And the first one to get it, when I see it come through on the chat, you will get this free reading. Well, free to you, a very kind, generous donation from Hawkeye Rick. So pop that into the chat now. What number have I written down between 1 and 20? Keep going. Keep going. Oh, Tamara, did I miss you? Nope. Nobody. Oh, Julie's got it. Julie. Well done. See? 17. I'm trying to find your one tomorrow. Oh, no, I've got the one from Friday the 21st. Okay, let me just double check. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. No, Christine, Tony. Oh, there you are. You snuck in at the end. I'm very sorry. So, yes, it will be now, Julie. So, if you could put your question in the chat, Julie, that would be amazing. And then it will be Christine, Tony, and then Tamara. So there we go, Julie. Yes, Christine. After Julie's one, you will go next. I see it. I found it. It was hiding. But Julie, if you could pop your question into the chat, and also do a big, huge thank you to Rick for sharing his beautiful generosity with you. That would be amazing. Let's see what cards wish to come and play with Julie today. Oh, cool. Thank you, Rick. Love it. Interesting. There's some funny energy coming off this cup. Yeah. Just tuning in, Julie. Feeling feeling all the feels. Oh, jeepers. I have to put that up on the screen so that people can read this as well. Oh my God. Funny. My brother's name was Rick too. He set my fire alarm off to get my attention this week as I wasn't listening to Spirit. That's so interesting because like I said, my cards felt funny. This is the deck that I've had for like the longest time. I think this was the first card deck I ever got. And as I was starting to shuffle it, it was like this funny sort of furry energy was sitting around the base of them. And I was like, oh, it feels really weird, you know. But now that our spirit teams have been doing very funny things lately, especially with electricity. Just ask you anybody who was here with me last week, and I was telling you guys how I almost had a house fire. That was fun. Not. So interesting that my original cards have come out to play for you, given what you've just said. That you're choosing to be a little bit hibernating with your connection, and that does happen sometimes. I will say sometimes it's just like, okay guys, I require a bit of a breather, just and give me a rest. But let's see what the cards have to say now. There's another one that wants to come out. Let's see. Yeah, and my team warned me about it about 2 weeks beforehand by waking me up in the middle of the night saying, check the lights, 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 check the lights. They wouldn't fucking let me go back to sleep until I checked the fucking lights. And that was actually a sign from them saying, when the lights go funny, check them. Check all the lines to do with the lights. Is that the one we required? I just love it when it's so spot on. I didn't even really have to shuffle. I was like, pop, out it flew. So the card that was just like wishing to come out, and I was less like, okay, hang on a second, I'll come back. It was from the Sacred Cycles book. And this is always an interesting one because given the rest of your reading that I've just very quickly glanced over, this one actually requires to come out first. So this is Butterfly, I Am Transformed. Bright wings unfurl after being cocooned in the process of potent change, and Butterfly emerges. The uncertainty of the time spent in transformation being unmade and remade is not forgotten as they unfold and expand. Instead, they re-enter the world with this memory that informs their ability to embrace boldness, knowing the depths that they have traversed. With a wonder of colour and vibrancy as their signature, Butterfly calls you to bask in your brilliance. Your true dynamic nature is most needed at this time and will be welcomed with open arms and awe, where you claim it for yourself. Now is the time to let yourself be seen, to allow your extroverted tendencies to come out and play. When you do, like the way butterfly effortlessly floats from one flower to another, the resources, connections, and community and support arrive to greet you. It's time to share your unique colors and gifts with the world. Your journal prompt: how would I like to transform the way I relate to myself? Okay, so that's just kind of giving you a little bit of a grounding or a beginning. This is kind of where we're starting with, okay? The first card that you got is Victory. So this is why I'm like, that's why that had to be read first. And the fact that you were just saying that you have not really been listening much to spirit, blah, 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 that's because you've been in hibernation mode. You've been in butterfly transformation. You've been in whatever you want to call it, cave girl mode, whatever it is. You're now coming out of that and you're now starting to interact again. It's like that transformative upgrading, bio upgrades, whatever you want to call it. That's all been happening, and now you're on the I'm out of the cocoon. This is amazing. Okay, that was your first card. The next card that we have is Spiritual Understanding. I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols, helping you to understand spiritual truths. Okay, so whenever we go, and you know this, Julie, whenever we go through big shifts in our consciousness, we walk out the other side feeling a lot more quiet, I have found, especially with those big ones. It's like you just kind of feel like, and you're just sort of looking at the world a little bit differently, and then you start seeing a lot more signs and symbols than you would have possibly seen before. So just know that all of this is good stuff, and that there's nothing wrong with occasionally having gone into like, I'm just gonna go and yeah. I have stuff to process. I have stuff to let go of. And the beautiful thing is that's exactly what a butterfly does or has to do, right? That's what you've got to go from the caterpillar to the chrysalis to the butterfly. It's got to go through all of those big shifts. Even as a caterpillar, it's got to eat and eat and eat and then shed a skin. Eat and eat and eat and shed a skin. You know, I don't know how many times a caterpillar sheds its skin, but, you know, it's a lot, I'm sure. But then again, 2 times is a lot. So, creative writing is your next one. Archangel Gabriel, make time to write down your thoughts in a journal or pen an article or a book. Your journey has been an interesting one, and I'm actually getting that this is relevant for your family. It's time for you to start writing your story and what you can remember of your ancestors as well. If you haven't started doing that, do it now. There's information that's going to start coming out that is relevant, and maybe not in the super near future, but a little bit further down the line. But this, like what I'm seeing right now, is that it's really important for you to start writing this family history down, your own and your ancestors. It's going to become relevant later on. So start writing that down, the little stories, the little mementos, the just as much information as you can possibly remember about your parents, your grandparents. If you were lucky enough to have great grandparents, cool. But aunts, uncles, but particularly the ancestral line is very relevant, and they want you to write it down, okay? And as much of your own story as possible, please. I've got courage, which is Archangel Ariel. Be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. So given that you've just gone through a big shift, big huge shift, this card here is saying that there's going to be some new rules around the house, around your house, and you are saying please have the courage to keep going with it. And it's okay if you're not good with writing, Julie. It's about getting the information down. It doesn't have to be grammatically correct. There is even stuff that you can do around, because the technology these days is fucking amazing. You can do text, voice to text. So it's like you might be out and about somewhere and go, oh, I just remembered that story from, when I was a kid. I need to get it down. So you can actually literally get onto your phone and tap the little microphone, and you can get your message out into digital form at the very least. But just don't delete it. But yeah, it's okay to not be good with writing. That's what editors are for. But it's about getting that information down. And dot points, as Tamara said, definitely. Dot points are very, very useful, because then it becomes more of a list, and I'm pretty sure you can write a list. So yes, courage to be stepping into this new butterfly form that you have opened out into. So be aware of your energetic boundaries, and just keep them pretty firm for a bit, okay? Or forever, whatever you choose. Cool. Lovely. She's saying that she always does stand up as much as possible to speak her truth. That's good. That's good. And every upgrade that we have, those parameters can change a little bit. Okay? So it's about being firm, but not too firm. It's about having that little bit of flexibility in there so that you can actually be like the tree and move and sway with the wind, rather than being super rigid and then breaking your branches off when the wind hits them. Okay. The next card that we've got is prioritize, which is focus on your highest priorities. I will help you get organized and motivated. So again, it's that thing about decluttering. So that is Archangel Metatron. Good old Metatron. Is there to help you. So you can ask for Archangel Metatron to help you if you're doing decluttering and organizing. And that's a cool tip. So for anybody else who wishes to have some help with decluttering and organizing, ask for Archangel Metatron to give you a bit of a hand. That would be great. Thank you, Archangel Metatron, for offering your services. Yay for being organized and motivated. We like that. Your yummy card is tenderness. So as you are at this stage of just like re-emerging and coming into the world, please be soft and gentle with yourself, be tender, and acknowledge that too. It's okay to be feeling all the feels. Astrologically, there is so much contributing in a really good way to that space for you. And it's like, it's okay to just go easy. Go easy with yourself. Okay. So once again, thank you, Rick, for that very kind donation. So grateful for you for contributing to Find Your Fridays, for keeping the show running, and for the beautiful gift for Julie today. So thank you very, very much. Okay, now I'm going to have to scroll back because I didn't catch it in time. To Christine's comments, or question rather. How did we get so lucky to have Rick in the mix, eh? Okay, nope, not that one. A little bit before that. Okay. A little bit more of my Tulsi tea. That's what I'm drinking today. I do love my good old Tulsi tea. I don't drink it heaps often, but it is lovely to have on hand. Okie dokie. So cool. I know you've heard of it now. Mr. Rick. Okay. Miss Christine. So we've pulled the lava kite for you, which is a lot of stuff around grounding and mindfulness during stressful times, increasing your ability to focus and cleanse negative energies, and balance emotions. Okay, because I get that anything that we have to do in a medical way is stressful. So it makes sense why this particular stone has come out to answer your question with. So we'll do our usual, just tuning in and getting the energy flowing. Let's see if I can pull it up a bit higher for you so you can see. Okay, show me the yes. Thank you. Show me your no. Cool. Thank you. Back to center, please. Cool. What will it create if Christine goes ahead and gets her crown tooth done on Monday? Okay, we're getting a yes for that. I will also double check. Truth, what will it create if Christine reschedules her tooth to be done with Dr. Edwin? That's a no. So it's a get it done sooner rather than later. It's time. So there's no more questions to ask around that one. Just get it done. The lava kite is saying it's, and your team is saying no. It's time. It's time to just. You've obviously gotten to a point where you've been able to book in an appointment, which is great. Lava kite. It's very cool. Yeah. No, just get it done, love. It's time. Okay. So yeah. Lavakite. Literally lava, like from a volcano and a flying a kite. Thank you so much for your quick question, Christine, and your lovely donation. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for tuning in once again from the States. I'm so grateful for you. And now, Tony, for tuning in from New Zealand. Could you pop your question in the chat, please, my darling? Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's okay, darling. It's interesting because there's some card that's come out from the Lumeria pack from Ingrid Auer, Auer, and it is the symbols of the Lemurian goddesses. And I think I've maybe shown you guys those particular cards once, and they haven't played again since. But I was also wondering, have you read The Women of Lumeria? Because that is another part of what that message is about. Okay. Yes, The Women of Lemuria is a very, very good book. I don't think I have it close by here, but it's a book that when I read it, I was like, oh, this is one that I have to own. So I listened to it and then I bought the book. And it is one that I'm looking forward to being able to dive into again. Interesting. Okay, so I'll bring up this one first. There's a lot of writing on here. So this is the card. It is Kiriluha, which is the goddess of healing. Okay. And it is realized by means of this enriched goddess symbol card, with which themes you resonate and which feel unpleasant to you, respectively. So have a listen to this and see which of these themes feel more like pingy, if you like. And like they may ping as like a big positive. It may ping as kind of like a I want to get away from that. Watch for those got to get away from that feelings, because quite often that's our trauma activation kicking in, i.e. the ego, and that will create that moment of like, and it'll feel crunchy and not, okay. So DNA activation, spiritual healing methods, realignment, intuitive ways of healing, self-awareness, self-responsibility, healers of the new age, but also stagnation, wanting to consume healing, impatience, suppression, oppression, obstinacy, and carelessness. So if anything of those things were sort of making you feel a little bit like, that's something to have a look at. The ones that were like, oh yeah, that feels nice and light and yummy, that's also things to look at, but it's more of a recognition of what work you've already done. Okay. And there could still be stuff in there for you to heal, but that's a beautiful symbol for you. The lovely goddess of healing from Lemuria, is based around, I think, Hawaii. And if you read the book, The Women of Lemuria, you'll understand more about where this is coming from. Okay. It doesn't specifically talk about individual goddesses, but it'll give you more understanding of where things are at. This, interestingly, is a very similar list to what you would find in Ina Segal. Fascinating, isn't it? Right, so let me just have a quick look at what these ones are. Righty-ho. So your first card is mindful and group think. Okay. These are beautiful cards. So these are the Shaman's Dream Oracle cards. Keeping a clear mind, hurtful thoughts, and groupthink is sort of the overarching theme. I love the first sentence here. The human mind can be so many things: a prison, a latrine, a circus, a temple, a cave. It can be a place of restriction or a place of never-ending expansion. Right now, be careful of where you wander in your mind. The quality of your thoughts is key, as you're in a fertile time for full manifestation. You wish to ensure that the seeds you plant will sprout and flourish into the life you seek to grow. Be mindful not to scatter weeds. It's easy to be influenced by others right now too, especially in our digital age. It's hard to protect yourself from the energy and the sheer amount of information bombarding you 24/7. If you allow all the fear and uncertainty to pollute your mind and emotions, you will fill yourself up with this negativity and then see more of it in the outer world. Stay out of gossip and other forms of groupthink, for when you cut another person down to their quote-unquote level due to their perceived mistakes or limit them by your envy, you activate lack for yourself. So fill yourself with thoughts of plenty. Imagine your universe unfettered by scarcity and alive with abundant hope and goodness. Be mindful of what your mind is full of and keep the faith. Good brings more good, Love, more love, gratitude, more things to be grateful for. Okay. So that's your first card. Well, technically second, but anyway. The next one, which is very, very relevant for where we're at tonight, being the new moon. We've got Moon Maiden, which is new ideas, beginnings, and curiosity. The Moon Maiden arrives to offer you a new beginning, a new face and facet of yourself that is aching to be shown to the world. Those qualities you've been quietly cultivating are ready for the limelight. The secrecy was important, for it protected your new face and kept what was precious close to your heart. But now is the time to come forward in full splendor. Announce the new you to yourself first. Reveal it slowly to the world. Like the waxing moon, allow others to be surprised by how mature and grown up this side of you is. Now it's time to set yourself free. The Moon Maiden belongs only to herself. She is summoning the parts of you that challenge convention, that refuse to be intimidated, and cannot be tamed or put inside a golden cage. The Moon Maiden invites you to shine with your own light, to have radiant curiosity, and to ask anyone who offers you a mouthful of dogma, why do you believe this is so? Question everything others assume is a given, and do not conclude with the drama around you. Collude. Do not collude with the drama around you. That's the message you've had twice now. Don't buy into the drama of the people around you, okay? Become an unpredictable being, yet an eminently reliable friend. The Moon Maiden invites you to answer only to yourself and reminds you that you are not anyone's property. Be true to your soul's calling, even as some around you in a relationship or a job want to capture your light inside a bottle. You know how to rise to the occasion just as unfailingly as the moon does. And when the time comes, you return to darkness and become enshrouded in mystery until you are ready to return. Collude. Collude is about aligning and agreeing with it, and like adding to it. Collude, when you collude, it's like it might be one person's idea, but when you collude with them, it becomes your idea too. So it's that whole thing of when we listen to gossip, and then as we are listening to it, rather than shutting it down, we just listen, and then it's like, oh, okay, and then we start adding to it with our own thoughts around that, because we want to be accepted or a part of the group or whatever, but it's only hurting you. And being where you're at right now, quite clearly your team has some very clear opinions about that. So be very mindful of how you speak about other people, and try to find those positives, try to find those moments of positivity within each person and yourself, of course. I would say so. It's that whole thing. Just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean you have to. Me Tox, repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Okay. Eliminate toxic thinking. Repairing the body, mind, and spirit, and cleaning house. So luckily, you've already cleaned your house. So that's good. And you've been working reasonably consistently, by the sounds of it, on your mind and the way you're thinking. So it's okay. You're doing good. It's just, this is kind of like the next little nudge towards keeping you going. When the Me Talks card appears, it challenges you to discard the deep, dearly held judgments that you have passed over yourself and past over yourself and others. Release the people who you feel wronged or offended you. Recognize that they mirror the shadow aspects of your own soul. Yes, it's a tough pill to swallow. Only then can you cull from your life the toxic people you have allowed into your inner circle. It's time for a cleaning of your proverbial house. Get rid of the thoughts and personal judgments poisoning your mind. Eliminate the inauthentic beliefs of others you've adopted as your own. Do so before the mind makes you sick, and empty your literal cupboards of the unhealthy junk food poisoning your body. Fast for one day or skip a meal and allow your body to cleanse itself and rid itself of toxins. Detox appears as a warning that you can no longer postpone the self-care and pampering you long for. The time is now. Do healthy maintenance on your body before you have to make repairs that you will never quite recover from. Detox has come to caution you that it is not too late, but you are at the 11th hour. Do not deprive yourself of the health you deserve. So, interesting, right? Night, Belinda. Hope you have a great night. Good sleep, nighty-night and hogs. All right. So clearly your team is like going, it's good that you've done all this work, and now it is time to just really focus on your healing and bringing in all the aspects that you're requiring to change, okay? So that you can really support your body beautifully. So yeah. (19), which is falling angel, falling unconscious, and spiritual narcolepsy. You are being cautioned now to not fall asleep or go unconscious. You have been flying above the strife and suffering of the world in angelic bliss. However, you risk being seduced by the beauty and the comfort of your situation and losing track of your aspirations, your wings. As you fall, you pick up speed, heading towards the trees below and a possible nasty landing. Remember that all you need to do to stop being a falling angel is to spread your wings to halt your descent and then find an updraft again. Do not be seduced by the fallen angels, your supposed friends and companions, who are ready to use you for their pleasure and have only their own interests in mind. As you soar once more in flight, receive the gift of the falling angel as an invitation to study the forest from above the trees. In other words, to analyze your situations from a higher perspective, without being entangled in its thorny branches. Once you understand what needs to be done, head back to your lofty heights and stand by for the right moment. Action you take now may backfire. Stay conscious and wait until you are guided to change. You will know when the time is right. Okay? So that's really interesting, I find. It's like, this is the whole thing about don't give up hope. There's still hope. There's still work to do. There's still a lot of areas that you can be a massive contribution, and don't stop doing your spiritual stuff. Is that the big message out of that one is like, and your spiritual stuff is in how you're speaking, how you think about yourself, about others, and because every time a judgment comes through, it's folding your wings in so that you are unable to fly properly in this analogy. So being up, and it's not arrogance, okay? It's okay to go, actually, do you want to take that conversation elsewhere? I don't vibe with that. And if you are not really into saying that sort of thing, you can turn it around, find some other topics, write down other topics that you can talk about with them that is uplifting, that is not to do with the news, or people's health, or what's another one? Religion, money. Those seem to be very hot topics for people to be very judgy. Politics, that is the other one. Okay. Talk about their hobbies, their interests. Get to talking about the crystals that you're using in your bracelets and what each of those means and how they can contribute to somebody who has them. You know, it's a beautiful thing that you do. Absolutely beautiful. We got receptive. Okay. So this is about coming back. Okay. Keep things light. Be receptive and comprehend the energy you're putting out as well as what you're receiving in, and know that you can actually have choices about what you receive. Okay. Especially in the space that you live in. It can be quite challenging to remember that. So there we go. Kiriluha, the goddess of healing. Just to bring her back once more, just so that you can bring her in and start working with her too. Okay. Lemurian goddess in the house. Thank you. Thank you, Tony, for your beautiful coin donation. I'm so, so grateful for you. Thank you for staying up so late. And how did I do that? I don't know. But good night, Melinda. Oh dear. And yeah, good point, Julie. Just ask them what brings them joy. I was in a very intense conversation with somebody the other night. Well, it wasn't even a conversation. They were just sort of spilling their guts. They were drunk at the time. And I just said, what exactly do you require? Well, what do you know? That got them thinking for a bit. It's like, nobody's ever asked me that question. I'm like, I know I've asked you that question, but I'm not going to nitpick here. Alrighty. Tamara! Thank you so much for waiting for such a long time, Tamara. What is your question? You're welcome, Tony. Good night, and hope you have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. And I really super appreciate you tuning in from New Zealand, given it is now 12:30 in the morning. So thank you. I appreciate you. Good night. Oh, great question. I'd like to know what I require to know to maximize the energies of this week. Ooh. Did you hear that? Oh gosh. Running out of room. Good night. Nighty night, Rick. If you're saying good night. I'm assuming you are because Julie's saying good night to you. Or are you saying good night to Tony? I'm guessing you'll be off tour guiding in the morning. So let's have some good shut-eye. I had a feeling. Saying it to the others, that's because you're very kind. Thank you. Interesting. Your team just completely changed their mind. Gotta love it when they do that to me. Just double check. Got all of them. Oh, the wind's picked up. I can hear the back door getting a bit rattly. According to the weather, Tamara, you're going to have to be flexible and run around like the breeze. All right. You know what, Julie? You're just getting in early. That's all. Okay. An interesting reading. So let me jump over here. So there is a goddess that is wishing to contribute to your week. And the reason why I say it's interesting is because she's pretty potent. So you've got Freya. So for those of you who don't know, Freya is one of our beautiful ones from the Norse mythology. And And so she is the goddess of discernment. I spend my time wisely. I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. So it's a full body yes, right? Freya embodies the fierce and finely honed spiritual skill of discerning the most life-giving choice in each moment. In Norse mythology, Freya is the most powerful and important deities. She is chief of the Valkyries, the demigoddess who choose who will live and who will die during every battle and war. After being Valkyries, the demigoddesses become Norns, the great goddess who weaves the fates and histories of people and nations. Freya rides into battle wearing a magical cloak of falcon feathers and takes half of those fighting. For her Valkyries, she models how to choose, and then she rules over her heavenly afterlife called Rumnir. She receives half of all of those who die in battle, and the other half go to Valhalla, where the god Odin presides. She wears a legendary necklace or torque. Oh no, I can't say that. She just wears her legendary necklace. Let's see if you can see it. With the powerful jewel that makes her irresistible. It is said to be gleaming and golden and compels people to her when she calls. When your soul selects her card, discernment is derived from the Greek word dia, crisis. It refers to the spiritual power that it allows you to distinguish between the spirits that will cause harm and the spirits that will assist you. Let us discern when a phone call or an email or a visit from a friend is going to add to our day or if it's going to derail it. Discernment is the difference between feeling led by the day, pulled this way and that, and claiming it. Our time in this lifetime, at least, is limited. Every second is significant. Freya reminds us of the searing perception we all have, but perhaps don't use frequently enough. She wants us to be discerning with how we choose to spend our time and whom we choose to love. She wants us to never, ever say yes to anything or anyone from a place of fear or obligation. You are a demigoddess, a Valkyr, and a priestess of your own fate. You get to choose the life you wish to live, and this happens by being fierce and warrior-like about what you say yes to. Use discernment so that you are only saying yes to what will actually nourish and renew you, inspire or expand you. It's not your business to worry about those you might disappoint. You are not made to meet everyone's expectations of you. You are made to express the truth of who you are and to use the brief time you have here to live out your potential. Nothing is obligatory except breathing. Your only true obligation is to the voice of your own soul. Freya wants you to realize the gleaming gold that you are and act accordingly. She wishes you to unapologetically choose the life you actually wish to be living right now. She wishes you to make your yes holy again and only using it when it's the truth. So your soul voice meditation is, what does a hell yes, the holy yes, feel like in my body? And your intention is, I spend my time wisely and I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. Okay. First of all. All right. I think the rest of those cards go. Oh, that's because they're over here. All right. Cool. So there's that one. Now, interestingly, you started out with the fairy cards and then they went, nope. And we went to tarot. So interestingly, the first card, now that we've read that, the rest of this is going to make so much more sense. The first card that you got was the Empress. Now, the Empress is actually a very potent, powerful card. She is like, there's the Emperor and the Empress, and they are like the top two red like beings, I guess, players in the tarot in a lot of ways from the major arcana. And she is a major power of authority. And given that she's like looking out, she's very positive, she's very composed, she's confident in moving forward. And so as you're asking, the question was how to maximize the energies of this week. Remain confident, remain potent, remain powerful, and know and trust that that is you. This is you, right? And how do you get to be that? Well, let's find out. So how we get to be that, we have an interesting range of cards here, because the only card you're missing is the Pentacles card. There's no Pentacles in this, which means it's not about money. All right. Your first card is the Page of Wands, which is all about, in this case, I was getting introspection. The word that actually came to mind was not that, but I will call it introspection, and looking closely at the things that matter to you, and look at your health and well-being, look at your spiritual health and well-being, being holistic in your approach to those things. The page, of course, is like, it's the beginning steps forward. It's the curiosity. It's the newness of everything. That's what the page is all about. And there's a lot of spiritual growth that happens at the beginning, as you know. Now, I know that you're not on the beginning of your spiritual journey, but you are asking about the energies of this week. So be curious and be introvert. Look within. Okay. The next card that you've got, which I find incredibly fascinating too, is the King of Cups. So this week, you are the master of your emotions. Even if everything is going topsy-turvy all around you and it's getting like everybody else is like going because of all of the other energies that are happening around you right now, are still like a bit churned up and all of that, you can be the stable, concise, oh my god, my words are just disappearing with the wind, you can be this stability in the middle of your journey. So you've just said you're at the beginning of your journey back to self-love. It's like, cool, you're remembering this. You're remembering this. And to do that, you have to be curious. Okay? So there's some interesting energies in here as well. It's like, when I look at how the cards are laid out, the King of Cups is kind of glancing back towards the Empress. And it's like he's looking to her for guidance of how to remain stable and steady in himself. So don't be surprised if you find yourself doing that. It's like, I don't know where I'm going. And then you kind of, there's that other part of you, like that higher self part of you that goes, well, I do. If you'll ask, I'll tell you. And it'll be as simple as that. So just don't be surprised if you have some of those strange conversations with yourself. The next card we have is the Ace of Swords. And with this one, I'm seeing that you're going to go through a lot of mental gymnastics this week. Because being a lovely air sign, it's all about the mind. So just be mindful that of the thoughts that are coming through, and on this lovely journey of self-love and remembering your feminine polarity, this is going to be really valuable to you, to just be consciously aware of your thoughts and making sure that the thoughts that you're having are conducive to the positive outcomes, the hell to the fuck yeses, and being confident enough to say hell to the fuck no. All right. So it's like those obligations and things, that's what is popping into this card here a little bit. Become your own ace, become your own sword. Chop out the bits that are no longer valuable to you. Keep moving through into that. Thank you. Thank you for knowing what I was trying to say. The fifth card that I have for you of the tarot is the Seven of Wands. And with this, I see that you have a lot of work to do, but at the same time, you're bigger than what you think you are. So it's almost like, because if you look at this image, this character here is actually huge. These hills are teeny, teeny, tiny, which to me says you've actually done a hell of a lot more work than you think you have. Your growth, your spiritual growth has been a lot greater than you're giving yourself credit for. So please start giving yourself some credit for an acknowledgement of just how far you've already come into your journey of rebalancing your masculine and feminine, or your feminine and masculine energies, bringing back your feminine polarity. If you're flowing through into perimenopause, that will all be coming up at the minute. I highly recommend you watch that video that I sent, that I did the link for, from the Diary of a CEO. All right. They actually mention in there was a interview that he did with another person who was talking about when we are in, and I did see it briefly on one of the reels or whatever, when as women we are in that space of childbearing, we tend to be, our hormones are fluctuating every single day. So we become incredibly adaptable to ourselves, to our partners, to the household, to our children, to our workplaces. It's like we just shift and change very, very quickly, because that's what's naturally happening within our bodies. And when we hit into perimenopause and then further into menopause, that's not happening. All of that is slowing down, and suddenly it's like, shit, I get to actually see what's true for me now without having to take all of this other stuff into account. So we become very much more refined and defined and discerning in the things that we choose. And it's like our hormones are aiding us on that journey too, which is why a lot of people go, oh my God, she's just so up the shit. You know, she's making all these choices that she wouldn't have done before, and blah, 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 blah. She's not the mum I grew up with, or, you know, suddenly she's off doing a whole bunch of shit that she never used to do. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And it's natural to do that too. Yeah. And yeah, you've seen this too. Once the estrogen drops, we start to not be quite so nurturing to others and more self-focused. Exactly. Because the natural progression is that people are meant to be looking after themselves. Our job is to get them to a point where they are confident enough and able and with enough tools to get off out into the world and do their own thing. And yeah, absolutely, it's definitely seen as the female midlife crisis, but the actual fact is that it's natural, it's normal, and the only reason why it's called a midlife crisis is because we are no longer pandering to baby men in our world anymore. And that comes as a bit of a shock. And it's like suddenly we've grown, we've realized the potency of our own selves. It's like, oh, shit. Yes, it is. It's glorious. And I'm really glad more women are gaining that comprehension of what all of that means, and to not feel wrong, not to feel gaslit by the medical profession and all that sort of stuff, which still goes on. Let us get to your yummy card, so then I can do Christine's last question. And then I might have to call it for tonight, guys. I'll do the expanding out tool. I did have an idea about, I will do the meditation. It's only a quick one. I had something that popped up during the week while I was listening to Dolores Cannon, Convoluted Universe Book 1. That will be able to be, tenderness is your word. So in amongst all of this and using these energies, be careful what you're thinking about, curiosity, remaining steadfast, be tender with yourself too, because you're still remembering how to be this potent and powerful, and having that moment of just like softness to you and love and gentleness, surrounding yourself with that, a lot of that this week to come, because those energies are still fucking full on. Okay. Thank you so much, Tamara, for your super kind donation. I am incredibly grateful to you, and I hope you have an amazing week to come. Freya, hey? You got Freya. Wow. There's a just so cool. So cool. Freya. I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you. Alrighty. Now, did I manage? I think I did. Okay, Christine. Okay. Yeah, the Divine Feminine Oracle cards are absolutely beautiful, aren't they? And I love that they give you a bit of history into the goddess. Yeah, they're amazing. I'm so glad I have them. Yes, show me the new, please. Thank you. And now back to center. So, truth, are there any legal papers for the restaurant in California that Christine's dad has invested in. I'm getting a no. I don't. So, truth, is Brenda lying about the no papers? Nope, she's not lying. There are no papers. So truth, is Brenda stealing from Christine's dad? That one there is actually going round and round in circles. So it's kind of like a sort of, but not in the way that you're thinking. Yeah, no, that's because there isn't any paperwork. There isn't any paperwork for your dad owning the business. So it might be that he's basically just given a donation. Mm. Yeah, let me see. So truth, is Christine's dad contributing to this business willingly? That's a yes. Truth, is Christine's dad contributing to this restaurant business consciously? Yep. So there is not paperwork that he owns the restaurant with legal documentation. That's the way he said it. Yeah. I don't get that there is any either. Not from my pendulum here. Night, Tamara. Thank you for coming and playing with us. I appreciate you so much. Enjoy the Hunger Games. He has been very patient. So, sorry, Christine, but your dad is making his own choices. And all I can say is just protect yourself. Do what you require to do for you and maybe your brother. And everything else is just kind of going to pan out how it pans out, as painful as that might be. Okay. Get the lawyers if you wish. Yeah, that's your choice. That's your choice. All right, my dear. That's it for readings for tonight, my beautifuls. I am feeling quite tired, and I would like to get out to the new moon and do a little bit of work out there myself tonight. So I am going to do a very quick meditation with you guys tonight. This is inspired by a concept that came through from Convoluted Universes in one of Dolores Cannon's multitude of books. And if you're not familiar with Dolores Cannon, she is the one who created QHHT, which is the quantum healing hypnosis technique. And during a session of QHHT, you will go into a deep hypnosis, and you're still able to talk and all of that sort of stuff. And she will take you through to a past life regression. or your practitioner will take you through to a past life regression where you will uncover and explore other lifetimes. And occasionally there are certain people who are able to go into deep trance and they're actually able to connect with things like the guardians and the alien beings and all sorts of very interesting people. So this little concept was about our connection to each other and how we forget that as humans we are actually all connected. And when I was listening, I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely something that I could turn into a meditation. So that is what we're going to play with today. At the very least, I would love it if you could stay for the expanding out part of the meditation. And if you choose to listen to the rest, cool. Otherwise, I hope you have a brilliant day and a brilliant weekend and a brilliant week to come. Remember to be tender with each other and yourselves. All right, close your eyes and have a big, deep breath in. All the way down to the bottom of your belly. Breathing out. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. Bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up. Bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Now become very aware of your body, of the messages of your body. And also the peacefulness of your body. And now expand out your awareness into a big bubble all around you, up into the sky, down into the earth and all around. Expanding out your awareness greater than the planet. Expanding out your awareness greater than the solar system. Greater than the universes. And perhaps beyond wherever you've been before. And now focusing on your body once more, grab your sense of allowance, remembering that your allowance is your ability to take yourself from being a tight, contracted little pebble at the bottom of a raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and changing from that to becoming like a big, fluffy cloud, floating over near the river and seeing that big, raging river of thoughts, feelings, and emotions for exactly what it is. It's just energy. That's it, just energy. So now as you expand out your allowance in a big bubble all around you, up into the sky, down into the earth, expanding out your allowance, out beyond the size of the country, beyond the size of the planet, beyond the size of the solar system, beyond the size of the galaxies, beyond the size of the universes, and beyond the size of your awareness. Taking a big, lovely big breath in, allowing your body just to calm. This is a beautiful process for calming your cortisol levels, bringing up the dopamine, bringing up all those lovely happy hormones, your oxytocin. reminding your body that it's okay to relax. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And now what I'd like you to do is to imagine that we are all standing on a big, huge iceberg. Every single one of us. You can include your family and your friends if you choose, or just the people in Find You Fridays that will tune into this meditation now and into the future. And here we are, all standing on this beautiful iceberg, and we're bobbing around in the ocean. And now I'd like you to perceive your energy. Your energy flows, the parts of you that you can't see, the areas around your body, like your aura, your auric fields, your chakras. And as you perceive these unseen parts of yourself, you'll notice that the energy goes well beyond your feet, all the way down into the iceberg. And as you do this, you'll start to recognize that everybody else's energy is also going all the way down into the iceberg. And this iceberg is huge. And underneath the waterline, all of your energies come through into one very potent ball of energy. You'll see this ball of energy starting to pulsate like a heartbeat. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. And as that heartbeat is heard out through the ocean, you begin to perceive other heartbeats. The heartbeats of the whales. Big, big heartbeats. You may be able to perceive the heartbeats of the fish. We're going to keep going down. And it's like that heartbeat of us as a collective is now searching out down, down, down. And as that heartbeat, that sonic wave of sound and energy moves down through, past the fish, past the sea life, past all the corals and the seaweeds and the anemones, through the sandy layers. You'll perceive that there are other energy lines, other heartbeats, all coming through to join you. And you keep going down and down and down, all the way, as if uncontrollably drawn to the center of Mother Earth, where you hear Earth Mother's heartbeat. Boom, 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 boom. Much slower than your own, but no less powerful. And as your energy, our heartbeat, our vibration meets with Mother Earth and her vibration, her heartbeat, it's magic that happens in that moment. Beautiful. Just enjoy that for a moment. That feeling of absolute peace, of calmness, of knowing that you are unconditionally loved by this glorious planet that we get to live on every single day. And as Mother Earth gifts to you the knowing of being connected, you are now able to gift this to everybody in this stream of consciousness, this light that is coming down from the top of that iceberg all the way down to the center of Mother Earth. And as you move forward in your week and your months and for the rest of the year, every time you start to feel a little lost or overwhelmed, remember this moment. Remember Mother Earth's heartbeat. Ba-boom. 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 And how in this moment at this time you came together with the other people of Find Your Fridays to perceive what it is like cognitively and consciously to have your heartbeat as one. Ba-boom. 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 Take a big deep breath in now. And as you breathe out, bring your awareness all the way back up from the center of Mother Earth, all the way back up, back to your body, where you are right now, wherever you are. Big breath out. Big breath in. As you recenter yourself and breathing out. And one more. Breathing in. It's really coming back to your body. Beautiful. Now you're going to step out underneath a big, beautiful waterfall, and the water's going to flow over and through your body. Just washing away any other little elements, any other little fragments, any little points of views, belief systems, anything else that you wish to let go of. This beautiful waterfall can act like the new moon. The energies of the new moon can act just like this waterfall. So if there's anything that you wish to let go of now, you can. The water can wash that all the way through you. And now stepping out onto the big warm river rock. You feel the warmth of Mother Earth underneath your feet. Take a big deep breath in. Breathing out. Breathing in, bring Mother Earth's energy all the way up. Once more, Mother Earth all the way in. The unconditional love moving all the way up through your body. And breathing out, bring Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way in, down. When you're ready, open your eyes. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Please have yourself a nice good drink of water. And just know that you are connected. You are not alone. You're connected to this beautiful planet that we live on. We have the privilege of being here. And you're far more connected to each other than you ever imagined. Welcome to the awareness of that. So please get out there over the weekend. Do something tasty for yourself. Do something kind and gentle. Take some moments to be with Mother Earth. Have some fun with some people that you really enjoy connecting with. Be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.